So the EU is in absolute chaos, and you are supposed to not notice. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Politics Podcast. Thank you for joining me. Yes, I see another story that I want to bring you. Helen McEntee, Minister for Foreign Affairs, has noticed or heard some whispers on the grapevine that many people in Europe, especially in Ireland, have discontent with the EU, are turning Eurosceptic. And she says this must not go unchallenged. She says it as if they are getting brainwashed into being Eurosceptic. When the reality is, Minister McEntee, if you ever see this video, people did not vote for what the EU has become. That's a simple way of condensing it so that you might understand. People voted in 1973, my own grandparents included, to join the common market, which sounded like of the EEC. So it sounded a very, very pleasant idea, and it was a pleasant idea. And it opened up Ireland, and Ireland grew. And now we can travel to European countries. We have the right to live in other European countries. And yes, it was fantastic up to a point. But that has disintegrated. That idea is nowhere to be seen now, because the people of this country now have a long list of things to be discontent about. The EU has destroyed itself from its original idea. And Helen McEntee and the government, and especially the EU Commission, do not seem to get it into their heads why people are so upset. So I will list a couple of things that the EU has forced on European citizens. And especially, I'm talking now about Ireland, about what the Irish have to put up with. Okay, so it has gone from a trade agreement, a single market, a place where we can travel and live, into something that dictates mass immigration, Brazilian beef flooding the Irish market, carcinogenic, as we are told, much of it carcinogenic, gender ideology, radical sex ed in our schools, school children being taught that they have white privilege, Irish school children being taught that they have white privilege, riot squads in Newtown, Mount Kennedy and Coolock, I-Pass millionaires and billionaires, greedy landlords, making millions while communities have to put up with it. All EU directives. We have the highest electricity bill price. We have the highest food cost. We have carbon taxes on our home heating oil and our diesel and our petrol at the petrol pumps. All EU directives. These things are a long cry, far cry from 1973, when the Irish people decided to enter the EEC. Look what it's become. No wonder there is discontent. No wonder every single day there are more and more Eurosceptic people waking up. I-Rexit, which is Ireland, exit the EU. I-Rexit is an idea that was unthinkable 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even 3 years ago. But this whole globalist plan has ramped up in the last couple of years, and people are starting to cop on. I think even the farmers are starting to finally wake up. And Helen McEntee sees that as a problem. She says there are whispers. Maybe she hears whispers, but we've been hearing roars. Those of us in the political circle over the last 5 years especially, there are many who are roaring to get out of the EU. We are net contributors anyway. Our fishermen in Killybegs will tell the tale very easily if anyone wants to go and ask them. We have a 12%, I think it's 15% or 12%, I am not sure of the correct figure, but we'll go with the 15%. We'll give that to the EU. 15% fishing quota in our own waters left. The fishermen of Killybegs and of our coastal waters have to watch while super trawlers from all over the EU, Spanish, French, Italian, even Iceland. The EU have even allowed super trawlers from Iceland to come into our waters and take 85% of our fish, worth billions. And our poor fishermen are left with a 15% quota. I actually think it's 12%, but anyway, that's how low it is. This is crazy. And this is why people are upset. Do you think our grandparents would have voted, or our parents voted for mass immigration, I-Pass millionaires, gender ideology, radical sex ed, children taught they have white privilege, 15% quota of fish left in our waters, flooded with Brazilian beef, and guess what? We're already flooded. I saw a story the other day that there are 400 tons, or there were 400 tons last year alone brought in of Brazilian beef. You know what a pound of beef looks like? 400 tons already here. So the deal to me is done already. I don't know what, this is crazy stuff. And we're told it's carcinogenic. Free speech, they want to clamp down on free speech. They're monitoring what you say. They wanted to bring in hate speech laws. All EU directives. This is why people are upset, Helen McEntee. I'll just play you something then. Donald Trump speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos the other day. He's trying to warn Europe of where it's going. I'll play you a little clip of his speech now. But it's absolutely crazy. If the President of America and the Americans can see what EU is doing to us, the people ourselves can see. The media won't tell us much of what's going on. We only know by our towns what we see. And Donald Trump said Europe is destroying itself. But it's not. He's wrong. It's not Europe. It's not the ordinary Europeans. It's not us. It's not everyday people. The EU and their insane directives, globalist directives, is what is destroying Europe. I'll just play you that clip from Donald Trump. Now see what you make up your own mind now.
I mean, look, I am derived from Europe, Scotland and Germany, 100% Scotland, my mother, 100% German, my father. And we believe deeply in the bonds we share with Europe as a civilization. I want to see it do great. That's why issues like energy, trade, immigration, and economic growth must be central concerns to anyone who wants to see a strong and united West. Because Europe and those countries have to do their thing. They have to get out of the culture that they've created over the last 10 years. It's horrible what they're doing to themselves. They're destroying themselves. It's beautiful, beautiful places. We want strong allies, not seriously weakened ones. We want Europe to be strong.
So he says it's destroying itself with mass immigration. He's not wrong. He is not wrong. And Helen McEntee, she says there are whispers. No, there are roars. And every single day, the EU Migration Pact now is coming in June. People think that will sort it. Didn't TD Mark McSharry tell us? The EU is going to dictate to us how many migrants to take. And it's based on our low population density and the square kilometres of land. We know how much land we have. We know how many green fields as we're travelling along the roads. But that's why we are beautiful. That's why people want to come here. Because of our natural beauty. And they want to take that away. The EU Migration Pact will not sort anything out. If anything, contact your TDs. We should be running out of that. We should be opting back out. We didn't need to opt in. But Helen McEntee and Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil. And now when you have an issue, now they want to try and Shut it up. Shut up, everyone. She said it must not go unchallenged. Since when does criticising and talking and raising things need to be stopped? That's the whole reason of politics. Different ideas. Float an idea. The idea of the EEC was floated back in the 60s and 70s. And look, people voted for it. And the idea of I-Rexit will be floated. And I reckon people will vote for it. Even the farmers have copped on, as I said. So that's it, guys. That's what I wanted to bring you. I wanted to bring you that Donald Trump raised it at the World Economic Forum there. We didn't need him to raise it. We know. Helen McEntee knows. What the future holds, I do not know. But I do know that the whisper that Helen McEntee speaks of will be a roar. Will be a roar. And that's all I want to bring you there today, guys. As always, set up an account on X. If you don't fancy it, I'll be here always to bring you the up and coming news. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.